can I stay with this prostitute? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, stay with the prostitute.
You know, if you're in Vietnam and want to know about business, actually, if you're anywhere and want to know about business, you might want to check out Tom Peng. He doesn't fuck around. Yeah, Tom Peng. He's A-okay. Peace.
I'm going to tell you one more story about the Buddha. I'm not a religious person. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God of any kind. But it does not stop me from getting inspiration from different religions, from different people, from different companies, organizations, because they sometimes can help you in many things in life, because they can help you. Because oftentimes their stories can help you understand the world better. So today I'm going to tell you a story about Buddha and his disciples. So you see Buddha and his group of disciples, his students, they travel in India, right? You can probably imagine they're poor. They don't have much worldly possessions. And they're just going from village to village to village to village, right? They go to one village, they find people, and they live in other people's homes. And they have a rule. They can only stay in a home no more than 3 days, because they also don't want to create a lot of problems for people in the village. So they will go into the village, stay there, rest for 3 days before they move on to their journey. So Buddha and his disciples were traveling in India, seeking knowledge and understanding. So this one time, Buddha and his disciples went into a village. All the disciples were looking for homes to stay for a maximum of 3 days. And one of the disciples, his name is Ananda, and you're going to hear a lot of stories about Ananda because he's one of the more famous disciples. He met a prostitute in the village, and the prostitute offered to Ananda, hey, you can stay at my place, no problem, come stay at my place, right? So Ananda is like, oh, I don't know if that's appropriate or not. I mean, maybe I need to ask Buddha first, right? So he went to Buddha and said, hey, can I stay with this prostitute? And Buddha's like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, stay with the prostitute, right? And there are other disciples. They saw this and they go, whoa, that's wrong, man. Ananda can't stay with the prostitute. She will corrupt him and he will not be one of us anymore. Right? So the disciples were telling Buddha, no, you cannot do that. That's wrong. Right? And Buddha is like, it's okay. I guess we'll find out in 3 days what happens. So first day, Ananda stayed with the prostitute, and all the disciples heard from the prostitute's house that they were singing, la 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 la, singing, right? They didn't have a karaoke system back then, but they were just singing. And then disciples were worried because they are thinking, oh dude, man, we're gonna lose Ananda. Ananda's gonna get corrupted, right? And then second day, they heard Ananda and the prostitute singing and dancing. They saw them dancing outside the house like they're so happy together. And by the way, this prostitute is absolutely beautiful and young, according to the story. I don't know for sure, I wasn't there. But according to the story, this prostitute is a beautiful woman. So they were out there in front of the house singing and dancing, and all the disciples saw this and they go, oh fuck, man, like we lost Ananda for sure, man. We lost Ananda for sure. Right? And third day, guess what happened? All right? And Buddha and his disciples cannot stay as a rule in one place for more than 3 days because they don't want to disturb the village too much. So everyone was gathering their belongings, getting ready to move to the next village, right? And then everybody's like watching Ananda, see what will happen. Will she continue the journey with Buddha or not? And guess what happened? So Ananda come to the group, but not by himself. The prostitute also joined him and joined the group. And Ananda announced to everyone, we have a new disciple now. She's going to join us in our journey to seek knowledge and understanding. And Buddha was like, told you so, I'm the fucking Buddha, I know what I'm talking about, yeah? So what's the moral of the story, right? So what Buddha is saying here is that Buddha trusted Ananda. Buddha knows Ananda cannot be corrupted, right? No matter what happens, another will stay true to the faith. And even though he stayed with the prostitute, he cannot be corrupted. And Buddha had absolute faith, even though the disciples were worried, right? And so how can this story apply to the world of business and organization and management? All right. So I want you to think about your team, your organization, right? So very often what I see is that people influence each other, right? Somebody in the team says, oh, this cannot be done. That's really too hard. Nobody can do this. And then once they voice those concerns and doubts, everybody just kind of follow. Oh yeah, we cannot do this, we cannot do that. And then of course the whole initiative fail, right? I've seen teams fail like that. My first sales team was complete shit because they influence each other. I hired like 26 salespeople from Hot Deal, that company that sells vouchers. And then they're all complete shit because they come in here. I was thinking that, if I hire salespeople, they can manage themselves, give them policy, they know what to do, right? Oh, completely wrong. Like 26 people in a room, they influence each other. Oh, this cannot be done, that's too hard. And I was silly enough to ask them, like, what do you think the KPI should be? I was asking them what the KPI is, which is completely wrong, right? And of course, we can only get 2 contracts a month, and that was our very first KPI for this company, for the sales team. Ridiculous, right? People influence each other to be negative, not positive, right? If there's somebody in the team saying, let's go, we're gonna do something fantastic, we're gonna attract 50,000 new users to our platform, we're gonna, make $1 billion in sales this month, nobody gives a shit. Nobody really cares about that. But when somebody negative, like, oh, we cannot do this, we cannot do that, that's impossible, nobody can do it, and everybody follows, right? So everyone is corruptible. Very few people are like Ananda, right? Cannot be corrupted. You put him in a really negative situation and he's gonna stand up and say, you cannot corrupt me. In fact, I'm gonna influence you. You're not gonna influence me with your negativity. So I want you to think about how many Anandas do you have in your organization? How many Anandas do you have in your team? And I would guess very, very few. Most people are shit. I keep on proving my point. Most people are only influenced by fear and negativity. Anandas of this world are very, very, very few. And I would say even in my own companies, I can count them with my hands. But when you find them, treasure them, pay them well, treat them nicely. But for all the shitheads out there, fuck them. Don't be a fucktard and take fucking action.